like Epic's second day ever at the beach. Guys, in this video, I have something very special to share with you. How many of you guys have ever woken up the next day with a lot of regret, remorse, like you hated yourself because you binged ate. You ate a bunch of food, you made a commitment, you know what, I'm not gonna eat tonight, and then you went crazy. And you dove into the cabinet, you woke up the next day, and you're like, bro, I ate way too much last night. And you felt like absolute shit. Listen, I thought I was the only one that had this problem. But I've learned that there's, fucking Epic's probably one of them. There's a lot of people out there that have an issue overeating. How many of you guys cannot control how much you eat, man? It says last night, I conquered my issue of sleep eating. So this is, imagine this. If you guys don't have this problem, this is what it's like when you sleep eat. You're half asleep, you go to bed, and then you wake up half drowsy, like sleepwalking. You're sleepwalking to the fridge. You have no self-control, and you just raid the fridge. You take everything that maybe tastes sweet, everything that is easily accessible, and you know what you're doing a little bit, but you have no self-control. And then the next day you wake up and you're like, was that a dream? And you look out in the kitchen, you see all the shit that you ate, and you're like, damn, I did it again. I feel like shit. And this is the worst, especially if you're a person that sees yourself as a high achiever, somebody that gets shit done, that's disciplined. Well, I've struggled with sleep eating almost all of my life. And last night I conquered it. So I'm gonna share the tips on how I did that with you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, I'm Jeremiah Sullivan. I was a small town kid. Grew up in a town of like 300 people in Cali, Northern California, up in the mountains. And I was a quitter in life, and I turned my life around. I became a winner. I got into the military, and I started getting some victories. And I served in the top 1% in the 75th Ranger Regiment as an infantry officer after I went green to gold. And then I became a commander. I ran 100 miles in the Rockies. And then since then, I've been building my leadership company, Conquer Academy. So let's just dive right into it. So this is what you guys got to do. Epic. Hey, I got to help these guys out, so stop messing around. This is my dog, Epic. I named him Epictetus after the philosopher. Let me go over here so it's maybe not so windy. All right. This is the first time I've ever broken down mindset nutrition training, and like this for binge eating. Okay, I've taught people how to have self-control. I've helped them with their macros. I've helped them with their discipline. But this binge eating, this is the first time I've actually been able to articulate it and break it down in a way where I think it's going to help a lot of you guys with this issue. All right, so here's the thing. I want to know, as I kick this off, how many of you guys struggle with that overeating part, the binge eating, or even the night eating? How many of you guys lose control when hunger kicks in and you just say, fuck it? I want to know in the comments. Tell me how many of you guys there are. So this is what I did, all right? So last night, over the years, what I've tried to do, I've tried to use my willpower to, whenever I got hungry at night, to not eat. That didn't work. I've tried for decades, man. I've tried to say, you know what, I'm not going to do it tonight, laying down. I'm just going to force myself not to do it. Willpower is not enough to see any goal through. Willpower is not enough to see any goal all the way through. It's not. Okay? In order to see goals all the way through, so especially something like controlling your food, you have to be willing to endure an immense amount of internal pain and turmoil, right? You do. You really do. I've fasted before for 72 hours. But the thing is, what I did, I laid down okay, so here's how I did. Just break it down step by step. Step number one. I ate dinner, and I got myself hungry. My goal, instead of like trying to just sleep off the hunger, like eat and go to sleep, because that's what I would do before. I would eat, go to sleep, and then an hour later, 2 hours later, wake up and go into the kitchen. So instead of doing that, step one was to eat dinner, eat a little bit early, get myself hungry early, and then lay down in bed at the normal bedtime, or just before, and sit in the pain of hunger for 20 minutes or 30 minutes or so. Now here's the thing, when you do this, you need to, your goal is to condition yourself to the hunger. You need to sit in the pain of the hunger. If you have never sat in the pain of hunger, you're not training your mindset to overcome it. It's like lifting weights. In order to grow strength, in order to get stronger, you have to lift the weights. You have to condition yourself. So, I might get kicked off the beach here in a second. Actually, matter of fact, I'm getting kicked off the beach. Let's go. Come on. So, here's the thing is, you attach a spiritual meaning to it. The feeling of hunger has to mean something deeper and meaningful to you than just, oh, I'm hungry. So what I did is I told myself, like, hey, this hunger is the sacrifice that you have to give to connect to God. Like, nothing in life is free, right? Hey, come on. Nothing in life is free. When you go to the store and you pay for something, you give them money and they give you something in return. And when you are trying to overcome hunger, that's a discomfort, that's a pain. You are giving something to get. So in your mind, when you're hungry, what are you giving? Okay, so if you're not giving something, if you don't see yourself as giving anything, if you see yourself as just losing, you're not getting any sort of trade-off, it's going to be hard to stick to it because there's no gain. There has to be something on the other side. It has to mean something to you. So, what does hunger mean to you? And that's what I spent a lot of time laying there thinking about for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, letting myself feel the pain of hunger. And in my mind, what that meant was that I was getting closer and closer to God. So I attached a spiritual meaning to the discomfort. Now here's the thing, when I ran 100 miles, I did the same thing. The reason I completed 100 miles is because I attached a deep meaning to the end of that race. So when you guys are laying there in hunger, I told myself that this hunger feeling, this discomfort is the price that you pay to connect with God. This is what I am doing. I'm sacrificing, and so I am giving up this feeling of comfort. I'm going to give discomfort, and I'm going to trade off, and I'm going to stop allowing my physical body to carry me through the pain, and I'm going to rely on my spirit to strengthen myself and carry myself through the pain. So I was conditioning myself and building my strength of my spirit when I'm hungry. That's what the feeling of hunger meant to me. I am getting spiritually stronger, spiritually more connected to God. And if I endure, when I wake up tomorrow morning, I'm going to have messages from God. I'm going to have a clear connection to God. And that's exactly what happened. I woke up and there were clear messages. I could hear the voice inside of my head. I could hear myself talk. I could hear God telling me. The voice was super clear. You know when you get those messages, man, those downloads, you tap into spirit, you get those downloads. That's exactly what happened to me when I woke up. Just like I do when I'm very, very disciplined with my life, and when I haven't taken in more than I should. And all of us experience this sort of enlightenment and this consciousness when we restrict ourselves. So those are the two main steps that you guys have to practice. So what I would do is watch this video tonight when you're laying there. Lay down at night. Feel the pain of hunger. Attach a deeper meaning to the feeling of hunger. What does it mean to you? What are you giving up? What are you trading right now? And what are you gaining? Sit there and meditate on that process. Really think and experiment with the idea that you're playing with in your mind, and really think deeply into what it means to be hungry. Really, 2% of people think, 3% of people think they think, and 95% of people would rather die than think. So when you guys are laying there, there's going to be a meaning that shows up for you. Maybe you need to get online a little bit. I got online a little bit. I typed in Gandhi. Why did Gandhi fast? What were the belief systems Gandhi had about fasting? I found some quotes that really resonated with me, but I made my own. And I started really thinking about what it actually meant. I said, this is a trade-off for spiritual connection with God. This means spiritual growth. And that's what I want for you guys. So redefine hunger, train yourself inside of the pain, and I wish you guys luck. And when it works for you, come back and let me know. Please, got to come back here and let me know that you made it through the night, and you didn't binge eat, you didn't lose control, and it was all because you attached a deep spiritual meaning to what you were going through, to the pain you were going through. Love you guys. Enjoy. Conquer all.